He's averaging better numbers than Paul George. Better numbers than Paul George. His team has a better record. But I guarantee you, Paul George will be an all-star, even though him and the Indiana Fakers don't deserve it. Going on, guys? It's Steve. So, I already talked about one of these people, one of these players, a lot on this channel. So I'm going to focus most of this video on another person that I really think has a bright future in the NBA. But as of right now, these are the two most underrated players in the league. They get absolutely no recognition, even though they're incredibly consistent. And for the most part, especially the first person I'm going to talk about, has been consistent with his numbers throughout his entire career, whether or not he's been on a winning team or a losing team. And he's been on the same team for his entire career. Anyway, number one is someone that I really like. Brook Lopez. I've been watching Brook Lopez since I was around 12 years old. He's been in the league since 08-09. I was born in 97, so since I was around 12 years old. This dude, for his career, has averaged 18 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, and he's only been an NBA All-Star once. How does that make sense? First of all, we understand the Brooklyn Nets are pretty awful. They're a pretty awful team. But this dude, no matter what roster he's on, whether it's a brand new Nets team or whether it's with, Darren Williams and Paul Pierce and them cats, this guy has been incredibly consistent. 20 points per game for the last 2 seasons. For the last 3 out of 4 years, he's averaged over 20 points per game and 7 rebounds per game. This is what he does. He's a very, very consistent player, and listen to this, guys. This is going to blow your mind. This dude shoots like 14 times per game, yet he averages 20 points per game. That's incredibly efficient. That's ridiculously efficient. This guy is elite. He takes 5 threes per game this season. He makes 2 out of 5, shooting 40%. This guy is amazing. He's an 84% free throw shooter. Why do teams not want Brook Lopez on their roster? Why? Listen, Brook Lopez, I don't know when your contract expires. I don't know anything about your contract or whatever. But I'll say this. Give me a call. I'll give the word out to my man Melo. He'll talk to Phil. And we'll get you on the New York Knicks. If you come to the Knicks, you and KP down low would be the best front court in the NBA. At least one of the best. One of the best front courts in the NBA. You, Melo, KP, and CP3, because you already know Chris Paul is coming to the New York Knicks. I love how every time I talk about someone, no matter who it is, it turns into a Knick video, because I'm the number one Knick fan, and I'm becoming like Spike Lee. It's honestly, guys, it's really crazy. I'm only gonna talk about this for like 30 seconds. It's crazy. Remember when Spike Lee, when all the Knick fans hated him because they blamed that Reggie Miller comeback on Spike Lee? They're blaming me for the Knicks' losses. How is it my fault? I'm defending the Knicks. I'm the only one talking about the Knicks defending Melo, doing this and this and that. And by the way, all you people saying Kristaps Porzingis is better than Carmelo Anthony, do you still think that? Get out of here with that. Anyway, Brook Lopez is incredibly underrated. I mean, he gets no all-star votes. I understand his team is bad, but let's be real for a second. He's a pretty damn good player, man. He really is. He has, 47 win shares for his career. He's great, man. He's great. He's being used 29% of the time. And he has a PER of 23. This guy is incredible, efficient. He can score in the low post. He can spread the floor. He can play defense. He's a great player. Great player. He averages 2 blocks per game, almost 1 steal per game. I mean, come on. He may not be that great on the rebounding right now, but guys, listen to this. He's playing 28 minutes per game, and he's averaging 20 points per game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks. He's shooting 47% from the field, almost 40% from 3, and 84% from the free throw line. That's incredibly efficient. In under 30, he's averaging 28 minutes per game. 28 minutes per game, and he's putting up these ridiculous numbers. Are you kidding me? There are people playing nearly 40 minutes per game, Paul George, and are barely averaging those numbers. Are you kidding me? This guy is so underrated. Man, he needs to come. Oh my, Brook Lopez, come to the Knicks, man. I got your back, man. You know, I watch every single Nets game, same way I watch every single Knicks game. A lot of people say, how can you be a Knicks and a Net fan at the same time? They used to be the New Jersey Nets, and no, we're not rivals. How the hell are we rivals and both teams sucks? Both teams suck. How the hell are we rivals? Rivals at being the worst in New York? Okay. Anyway, let's go on to my next person, Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward right now with the Utah Jazz. Oh my goodness, they're 18 and 13 at the time that I'm making this video. December 27th. They're 18 and 13. He's averaging 22 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, 4 assists per game, 1 steal per game. He's shooting 44% from the field, 34% from 3, and 87% from the free throw line. He's averaging better numbers than Paul George. Better numbers than Paul George. His team has a better record. But I guarantee you, Paul George will be an all-star, even though him and the Indiana Fakers don't deserve it. And this guy won't be an all-star. Are you serious? Gordon Hayward definitely deserves to be an NBA all-star. This guy is one of the best small forwards in the NBA, top 10 hands down. He definitely deserves to be an all-star. 22 points per game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. Efficient from the field as well. In 35 minutes per game, and the Utah Jazz are 18 and 13 for the 5th seed in the Western Conference at this moment. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? The last time the Utah Jazz were relevant was Darren Williams, Andre Kurlianko, a.k.a. AK-47, Carlos Boozer. Yeah, I used to watch. Paul Millsap. I remember those days. The Wild Wild West era. I remember those days, you know. And that's the last time they were relevant. And now he's brought them back to relevant. You remember how mediocre they started this season? And what happened when they turned around? When he came back, what happened? They started winning. This is why I say the MVP award is so ridiculous. It's really ridiculous because players win it that don't deserve it. They truly just don't deserve it. You know, some players don't deserve it. And I'm sorry, but if you want to talk about the most valuable player, Gordon Hayward definitely deserves to be on that list. He may not be top 5, but he's definitely a top 10 most valuable player. Take him off the Utah Jazz, and we'll see what their record would be. They would probably be 0 and 32. That's how bad, or 33. That's how bad they would be. Because that's how mediocre they started. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. This guy is 26 years old, and he's doing this. 22, 6, and 4. Better numbers than Paul George and the Indiana Fakers. They have a better record than the Fakers. However, somehow, some way, I guarantee you, they'll find a way to make Paul George an all-star, but not Gordon Hayward. Are you serious? Gordon Hayward is an elite player. Elite. Gordon Hayward. By the way, I know your contract is expiring soon, you know, in 1 to 2 years, and I'll just say this. You give me a call. I'll give the notice to Melo, you know, and we'll see where we can go from there, you know. I'm a recruiter. Anyway, guys, it's been Steve. I'm out of here. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm out. Peace.